How does a guy who leads the league in scoring and is averaging a triple-double, doing something we haven't seen in 50 years, not get the start in the All-Star game?
How is it? Because it lets you know that the voting is BS. Straight BS. It's been voting. It's been BS for a while. There's no way Russell shouldn't be starting, man. It just doesn't make any sense. And by Zaza being almost voted in, and all this, with Russell not starting, that lets you know that they have to switch up the voting in some type of way, get some control over it. It's out of hand.
Do you think this is
But
one
they
of the?
did that, right?
Do you think this is one of the biggest snubs in All-Star history?
Maybe. I mean, he's doing something that hasn't been done in so many years. Him and James Harden, they're both, like I said, neither one of them deserve MVP. If anybody wins MVP, it should be co-MVP because they're both doing something that haven't been done in a long time. Both of those guys definitely should have been locked in for starting in the All-Star game, but that lets you know how flawed the voting is.
See, I don't think it's a snub, and I'll say why, Stephen, because the fans wanted Steph Curry as the guy, and they clearly won out in this situation. So they got their man. It wasn't a snub because both the players and the media, now they wanted Westbrook in, but the fans spoke, and the fans had the majority of the votes. They get 50%. So if that's what the fans want, it's the fans' game, they say.
And it'll be easy for me to understand if they was doing it by position, 1 point guard, one shooting guard, one small forward. Then that's understandable. But these days they're not doing that. I've seen All-Star teams with 4 guards and 1 big man. So if they did it by position, I definitely understand. But they're not doing that.
Well, I also said you have to change the definition of fan because these people aren't watching the NBA. I mean, you can't be a fanatic and not watch the product because if you watch, you would see what Russell Westbrook was doing.
Right.
And vote him
don't
into
get
the
me
All-Star.
wrong. I'm as shocked as anybody that Westbrook didn't get in as the starter. I mean, he's going to be an All-Star. He'll be in New Orleans. But I'm just saying, if you're going to turn this over to the fans, we've seen before in every sport, Steven, you know this, we don't always get what we want or what we think we should have, right?
True, you're definitely right about that. But what she said about the voting, about fans, some of them don't watch the game. I wish I was there. I would have gave her a high five.
How much do you think this affects him moving forward?
Nothing. Russ. He's an animal anyway. He goes out there and gives 110% every night. He wants to be great. He wants to do something that hasn't been done. He wants to have a triple-double. He might not say it, but he wants to have average a triple-double. He's going to go out there and play hard regardless.
Yeah, it could add a little bit more fuel to his fire. We'll have to see. But you're right. He does play. He plays hard every night regardless. What about Isaiah Thomas? Do you think that was a big snub?
I don't think he's a starter. I honestly don't. I mean, I see Kyrie, DeRozan, LeBron. Yeah, those 3 spots are locked. In the East, and I mean, he's definitely an All-Star. If anybody else, Kyrie couldn't play, he's definitely the next guy to step up and be a starter. But with those 3 guys, it's kind of locked in. He's gonna have to just settle with being the 6th man in the All-Star game for a couple of years so those guys retire.